guys today?
Good, Jay. Thanks.
So, Florencia, you said you go by flow, so make it easier for us to communicate.
Yep.
So, Neil, again, only a few questions for you, Neil. So you're not going to have to worry about answering a lot of them for us. But first things first, just so athletes out there, what is your philosophy behind recruiting players for the women's program?
Well, I sort of like changed it beginning of last year. And my philosophy changed towards recruiting as in what I'm looking for now is more of a mental approach, a strong mental approach, and a versatile player that can play multiple positions. And someone that's just willing to come in and work on themselves to improve, be a good member of the team, gel with the team and the coaches, and then and just give me that 100%.
And do you find now that you were running both programs and now you sit back and you're overseeing both programs, but you're concentrating on the women's side, is that going to make it a little bit easier for you?
Oh, a lot easier. Yeah, a lot easier. A bit more focus now just on the one program, so we can deliver more of myself to it, and better training practices and training methods, and just focusing on the one program.
And talking about recruiting flow, like you're bringing her in from Kitchener right out of high school. Talk a little bit about the recruiting process on your side, Coach, with not being able to have her come up, and how did you get her to come to Algoma? And then we'll get into flow talking about that.
Obviously recruiting's changed huge, because one of our biggest assets is actually getting students here. And when they come and see the campus, it's like, yeah, I can see myself being here. So now totally, that's just all changed in the last year or so. So yeah, Flo was introduced to me through Next Level U Sports platform. Just took a look at her video, read her profile, liked what I saw, and just reached out to her.
And Flo, the biggest thing first before we get into soccer, talk about a little bit why you're coming to Algoma and the Great White North like today, Coach, and why you chose to come to Sault Ste. Marie for the fall.
So I did some research on Algoma at first when he first contacted me, and I really liked the location of the school, and I'm really interested in environmental science and biology. So having like so much nature around the area and being easily accessible to the students, that was definitely a really big part of why I decided to choose Algoma. And yeah, I'm super excited.
Now, was it a little, I don't mean uncomfortable, but was it a little harder to decide to come to Algoma when you can't make an actual visit up here to Sault Ste. Marie?
It was definitely a little bit like different than how I would have expected it to happen. I probably would have expected actually going to the school and seeing what it was like, but I think just getting reassurance a lot from the coach and from my family, it helped me really choose, and I was pretty comfortable about choosing.
And again, like Coach mentioned, the recruiting process is, I say, thrown out the window right now regarding everything that's going on. But again, how was the recruiting process for you to decide to, what was the final thing that got you over to decide to come to Algoma other than, like, say, the outdoors and the biology?
So one thing that was different from, I was talking to a couple of schools in the States, and the only thing that was really made the thing that made Algoma stick out a lot was how comfortable the coach was with speaking with me and just putting everything out on the table and making sure that I felt like aware and comfortable about what was happening. And he also very quickly like made sure I knew how much he wanted me to go there. So that definitely was a turning point, and it made me decide a little bit quicker.
And Coach, I'm going to ask you this one, then I'm going to ask Flo the same one. Can you talk a little bit about her strengths and what you've seen so far, and also what she might need to improve on if she has soccer coming over this summer?
Well, first thing, we'll talk about what improve on, and like all players that make the jump from, let's say, youth soccer into U Sports soccer is the speed of the game, the fitness, just general all-round fitness. That's the one that seems to sort of like stand out the most. The technical stuff, we'll analyze that at some other point. What I'm getting is a versatile player, a player that can play multiple positions, two-footed, which is good to see. She's comfortable on left, comfortable on the right. Cross is a great ball. So, But most of all, just it was what was coming through on our videos was the drive, the desire. I can remember one clip there. There was a breakaway. I don't know if you can remember it on the video flow, and you're doing a recovery run. And you know, the other player shot. It was when pass keeper was going in and Flo got there at the last minute just to clear it off the line. You know, it was a good like 30, 40-yard run, but she didn't give up. She kept going for that ball. And that's what stood out to me, but very much so also the versatility.
And Flo, we talked about just before going on here, you're going right from grade 12 to OUA soccer. Talk a little bit about what you think that transition is, and again, what you think your strengths are and what you might need to improve on from your point of view when talking to coach.
So I think my strengths on the field are my ability to understand the play, like my soccer IQ is what a lot of people say. I like to make plays to help other people make successful like shots or plays themselves. So I really enjoy like moving the team forward, and I'd like to push forward always. I don't like letting it go back into our own half. But I definitely think an improvement for me, or something that needs improvement, would probably be the fitness level. I know that OUA is very different compared to high school soccer or just the club soccer that I'm playing right now. So I think I need to improve definitely on my fitness, and it's going to be a bit of a jump from grade 12 to OUA. But I am very excited, and I can't wait.
And again, with everything going on, and Kitchener's different than Sault Ste. Marie, but coming up for the fall for the school year, but will you try to make that 8-9 hour trek up before then to see campus so that you just get a familiarity with it before coming here for the season?
Yeah, for sure. So since school is half online, half in person, I was actually thinking of maybe going in the next couple weeks, because I could leave Sunday afternoon, and then make it there and then do class online and then actually see the campus in the afternoon, and then I could go back home or I could stay. But yeah, I definitely think I'm going to visit before I actually go for like a while.
And Coach, that'd be perfect because you'd be able to get some of the players that will be there in the fall also, right? She'll get to meet.
Yeah, the girls are still here. They're just coming out their 2-week quarantine this week because they've traveled from a red zone into us. So we'll be initiating some training. Yeah, and it's always good to meet the girls, right? Good to meet the squad that you're going to be spending some time with.
And Coach, this is something that leads into the question I'm going to ask Flo, but Algoma, like you say, 6 seasons in the league. Like you say, only 1 win so far in those seasons. But when recruiting a player, is there any emphasis? Do the girls question you on that at all, or is that something that is not really brought up in the recruiting process?
Yeah, they don't question. They're just interested in who's coming in, right? You know, the girl, this group of girls we've got here, they're very open. They want more girls to come in, right? You know, they want more girls. They want to push the program forward. They want to be competing. You know, we've had 1 win, so they've tasted what it's like to win. But we're a young program still. Let's not get away from that, right? We're, you know, compared to these bigger schools and the resources, we're still like learning as we're going. But no, never any problems with bringing players in.
And that's it exactly. We look at 6 years and only 1 win, but when you talk about the Queens and the Waterloos and the Westerns and Lauriers, they've been around for 3 times that. So 6 years is you're in the infancy. And Flo, that leads into the question I ask a lot of the new recruits, because the basketball program, the soccer program, curling, all the programs are still newer. What would it mean to you, even more as a high school student, but to help Algoma actually accomplish maybe getting their first postseason?
It would mean it would be huge. I'm been the leader or the captain of my team for 2 years, so I definitely want to push this team forward, and it would be just a great achievement if we could make it to that, like the playoffs or the postseason games. And it would be huge if we could win maybe 3 games this season, and the next season it would be like 5 games. It's not about going from 1 win in 6 years to going to 16 wins in 6 years. It's gradually building up and getting the team to a point where we're confident enough that we can beat half of our, or more than half of our conference.
And Coach, that's something when I talked to Alexander Burt the other day with the men's program, same type of philosophy. So the players that are coming in are sure positive and carry that leadership with them, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And again, that's the shift in recruitment for the philosophy that we're on about, is that type of player with that mental toughness and that desire and that drive to come to a program that's only had one win in 6 years. Let's be honest about that, right? And wanting to improve it and wanting to push it forward and wanting to lead.
And Flo, when we not asking any secrets, but when you hit that turf in late August, what type of style can the sports fans here in Sault Ste. Marie and watching you online expect from you?
Definitely a pretty calm and collected style. I don't get really heated on the field. I don't see the value in getting super upset. But I definitely will push the team further, or push my teammates, and hopefully they'll push me back, so we can really get an aggressive team that hopefully doesn't cause a lot of fouls, but we'll definitely push the other team around, and hopefully we will win.
And Coach, you never caused fouls when you played, right?
I was never quick enough to do any of that, mate. Never got near enough for anyone to do it, so no, never did.
Well, that's why he coaches, and that's why he doesn't play anymore, right?
Yeah.
And Flo, right now, something I didn't get to find out is will Kitchener see a spring season for high school, or is that totally done for you guys down there too?
I think it's just completely done. Like, I'm pretty sure our board announced that they're not going to have any sports for the spring season. Which is unfortunate, but hopefully it can push me to train more at home and really focus on my fitness.
And you're still part of the Berlin Academy in down there?
Yeah, so I'm still on 2 teams with Berlin Academy. I only practice 2 or 3 times a week, but I push myself a lot in those practices, and they're weight training as well, so it's a little bit harder than normal.
So with that, because Berlin's separate from the boards and that, you might be able to see some type of season because they're a private academy?
I think we can have maybe a game or 2 in the future. We're looking forward to maybe seeing some field time. We're definitely going to practice on the turf or on fields when the weather is nice enough. But I'm not sure if we'll have a season. I'm pretty sure that soccer here, especially since I'm so close to Toronto, and majority of the teams that we would play would be from that GTA area, is just not really going to happen.
And Coach, not just Flo, but when it comes to that, not every team's going to be in the same book when it comes to the OUA, but does that make you a little bit worried with the girls coming in just because they haven't played over the last year and a half?
No, not really. If anything, Jay, I think they make them a little bit more hungry to play. Right? A little bit more desire to get on the turf and to play. And
Flo, and that almost puts everybody on the same category, right? No matter what school, anything else, because no one's really, other than what you're doing now, no one's done anything in the last year and a half, really, right?
Yeah.
So, Coach, last question I'm going to ask before, so that you don't have to answer anymore. Any concluding remarks you'd like to make before we go about recruiting, or if you're looking for more or making any more announcements in the future?
Always looking to improve. Hopefully a couple more to announce. We're just trying to iron out a few little things. With them being international students, it's a little bit different approach to it. And then that will probably be it for 2021. Like I said, 2022 is a focused recruitment year for us. Things have just been so different in the last 12 months. So a couple more, hopefully.
And Flo, hopefully with their fingers crossed, we're going to see a season come late August. What's it going to mean to you to pull on that Algoma jersey for the first time and hit the turf at Superior Heights and Sault Ste. Marie to represent Algoma University?
To me, it's kind of going to be like a validation of just all the hard work that I've done in the past. When I first started playing soccer, I played house league, which is like recreational for from 6 to 10 years old, I think. So I played house league for a while, and then after that I tried out for rep, which is like the first level of competition that you can get into. And I didn't actually make it for 4 years in a row because I never really took it that seriously. And obviously that was really like disheartening because in my head back then I thought that I would make one of the 3 teams, but I didn't almost 4 years in a row. And then when I finally made that first team after trying for so long, I was like, this is what it's like. And then from there I just kept going up. So I went up the ranks, and then I went to a different club, and then I went up the ranks there as well, and then I became the captain. So it's just going to be a big moment to kind of sum up everything that I've done in the past and just kind of make me feel like everything in those 4 years in house league where I spent just going back and up and down are actually really worth it because I get to do something that I love.
And Coach, that proves that anybody can make it to the OUA level if they have that determination, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's like anything. If you've got the drive and the internal motivation and the desire to do it, anyone can achieve anything, Jay.
And Flo, the last thing is before we let you go, would you like to give a shout out or thank you to anybody before we let you go?
I would definitely love to give a shout out to my family. I'm pretty sure quite a couple of them are watching right now. But yeah, I'd really like to thank my parents and my siblings as well for always pushing me and really encouraging me to do good things in the future and make the right choices. And then obviously I'd like to thank Next Level U Sports for giving me this great opportunity and giving so many other of my friends these great opportunities as well. And then Berlin Academy and all of the trainers that I've worked with, Sabrina, Santi, Camilo. Yeah.
And I'm like I'm probably gonna destroy this name. At the bottom is it Gil?
Oh.
You go ahead, you pronounce it. You could probably pronounce it, can't you?
So with an accent, it would be Guillermo.
So and who's that?
That's my uncle, actually. He lives in the States.
So again, watching and making a comment about being so proud. So it's something, again, Coach, that's the thing with OUA and Algoma. Not all the schools do it. They stream all the games. So like uncles in the States or wherever, they can watch the games, and that's huge for recruiting also, right?
Absolutely it is, yeah.
So, well, Neil, I can't thank you enough for taking the time, and Flo, hopefully we can do this in person come August. So thank you for taking the time to do it.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.